Hi, my name is Genevieve Hall, and I'm going to do a screencast of two government websites. One is going to be for the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, and the next is going to be for the IRS. Just a little background, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services is a statewide agency. The IRS is the Internal Revenue Service, and that is a federal, nationwide entity. Now, when we're first looking at the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, it is a relatively simple page by design. But that being said, there is a lot of information because this department handles a lot of topics and a lot of people. So you have a number of different users using this platform. I'd like to first look at how this site is organized. As you can see, you have the commissioner. You have pay, register online, forms by topic in our department. If you go down, you can see that there is a lot of information below the line, below the main frame line. And I find that that is a very difficult way to find information, but like I said before, there's a lot of information here. The other thing I find a little confusing about this website is that you have some Spanish. As you can see here, we also have the 1-800 number in Spanish, but really that's the only pieces that are in Spanish, which I think could be a little confusing for a user. I also would like to look at the main search engine of this website, and this is kind of an intuitive way to search. So let's say you wanted to, I don't know, register entity that solicits charitable contributions. So we could put registration of charitable organization. And as you can see here, there's 1,751 results, and that I think could be very confusing for a user because you get so many results back. And as you can see, the results that we did get back aren't necessarily registering an organization. So it's not necessarily the most well-organized search engine. And it's hard for people. Also, if you look at the way that they have this site, they put in their possible searches for you, but I would like to note that for some users that is going to be a little confusing. But it's understandable because they are using and dealing with such a large bit of information. So, you know, it allows for a deep dive, but you have to be a very well-educated user to get where you're going. Visually, though, I think the main site, the main page is actually pretty good in the sense that it is organized and there isn't too much information on this initial page. Now I'd like to go to the IRS site. The next site we're going to look at is the IRS. The IRS has a pretty good site, but has the same issues that Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services does, and that is that there is a lot of information on these pages and a lot of different types of users. You have everybody from accountants to grandmas to people who are very savvy on a financial background and people who really just don't know a lot. But I will say I think they organize their page very well. As you can see, they have tax pros, which get you exactly where you're going if you're a professional user. You get charities and nonprofits, which clearly they must be having a lot of traffic and they target that. Get a payment, get my payment, because you know that users will be coming on here looking for their checks. And so I think that they organize this in a way that at least accounts for their main users. I also think that it is interesting, let's go to get my payment just to see, the way that they have their language options right there at the top. I think that's a really interesting way to address the users who have different languages. It's not on the main page, but you can go to a page that is made specifically for the user, and I think that that is a very helpful way to address user needs. In addition, there are some things that I like and some things that I don't like. We have this general search bar, which I think is a good use and a good way to get where you need to go. But if you go, let's say I'm going to look at Interactive Tax Assistant, which is a way to help users file their own taxes. And if you go there, they have this search bar in a search bar, and that search bar specifically targets Interactive Tax Assistant search and the information that you will find inside of just that section. I think that can get really confusing for a user, but I do appreciate that it helps limit the results that you're going to get. Let's say husband didn't pay taxes. See what happens there. Do I need to file a tax return? As you can see, you get 4 matching items, which I think is a better way than the Florida Department of Agriculture in the sense that this is pretty targeted information, and it's not overwhelming for the user. You're not getting 1,500 results back. So as you can see, I looked at 2 different types of government websites, and I think that they're both organized in a way to address their user needs. But I do think the IRS's website is a little better organized for in-depth use. Thank you so much for taking the time to look at my screen review.